The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Conway Medical Center. Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today, I am at Conway Medical Center. I'm chatting with Dr. Sanderson, ENT here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for coming.
I'm very excited to learn why exactly you went into this field in the first place. Was there anything that drew you to becoming an ENT?
I knew early on in my career that I wanted to be a surgeon. I enjoyed procedures and helping patients do that, and probably one of the best parts of ENT is the wide variety of patients that you get to see. So you get to see newborn babies, you get to see patients, 90, 100s in there. So there's a really variety of patients, and I really enjoyed that.
And what would you say are some of the typical symptoms you see of patients that come in here?
Yeah, so we see a lot of problems with trouble breathing through the nose, allergies, chronic sinus disease. We'll see tonsillitis. We see a lot of ear infections in children. Nasal obstruction is very common. Ear problems. So really anything to have to do with the head and neck, we see a lot of it.
And what typical procedures do you do?
So there's a big variety of things we do. So we do some very straightforward ones like ear tubes in children with recurrent ear infections, tonsils for recurrent tonsil infections. I personally do a lot of nasal surgery, so a lot of fixing deviated septums, which run down the middle of the nose, functional rhinoplasties to reconstruct the outer part of the nose, sinus surgery, and thyroid.
All right. Do you have a favorite one? Are you allowed to say, or is it a secret?
Yeah, I definitely do. So I did a fellowship in facial plastics and reconstruction. So I very much enjoy nasal reconstruction, so rhinoplasty, rebuilding the nose. Sometimes we have to take a rib graft and rebuild it. So there's definitely an art to rebuilding the nose to get it both functional and aesthetically pleasing when you look at it. So I definitely enjoy rhinoplasty. Upper eyelid surgery is enjoyable for me as well.
And I'm chatting with Dr. Isaac, who's an ENT here. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk about you and how you ended up in this field in the first place.
Okay, let's see.
Take me back.
That story is going to start way back in high school. That's probably when I decided that I wanted to go into the medical field. And I'm pretty sure I had the idea that I wanted to be a doctor at that point. From high school, I took classes to become certified to be a pharmacy technician. And I worked in a pharmacy at a mental hospital in Columbia for several years towards the end of high school and through college. Went to Presbyterian College for undergraduate education. Majored in medical physics there, and then I went to MUSC in Charleston for medical school, and I was fortunate enough to complete my residency in ENT at MUSC in Charleston as well.
I was going to ask if you had an age range that you typically see, or is it kind of the full gambit?
The full gamut, birth to death. Yeah.
Wow. It's a rewarding work, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I enjoy what I do.
Okay, so tell me, what are some of the symptoms that might make you think that you need to come see an ENT?
Oh man, that's a
quite a bit.
Yep. Anything that feels abnormal. There's an old saying in ENT, pleura to dura. Pleura is the lining of the lungs, so right top of the lungs, to dura is the covering of the brain. So anything between the collarbones and the brain, right?
Okay.
If anything feels abnormal, pressure, pain, drainage.
All right, so if somebody is watching this right now and they think that they need to come and see you guys, what's the best way to contact y'all?
I would just call our office and check our availability. Sometimes our office will ask for a referral, but sometimes if you have a more pressing issue, they can come directly to us and we can get you in without a referral. But that's the typical process.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by Conway Medical Center.